Hi everyone, my name is Mike, and today we're making rock candy. Along the way, we're going to learn all about the science behind rock candy, and we'll also explore how rock candy can teach us about financial literacy. Let's get started.
To make your rock candy, you'll need the following materials: 3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, a pot, clothespins or clips, a spoon, spatula, or stirring rod, a 1 cup measuring cup, wooden skewers, a cake pop 6, a tall glass or jar, and optionally food coloring and or flavoring. Here's the full list of materials. Because this experiment involves very hot liquids, adult supervision is required. You will also need an oven mitt or thermal gloves for when you are touching the handle of the pot. The first step in making your rock candy is to make a sugar solution by mixing your sugar with water. Pour 1 cup of water into your pot using your measuring cup. Then, measure and pour in 3 cups of sugar. Using your spoon, spatula, or stirring rod, stir the water and sugar until they are thoroughly mixed. Next, spread some sugar on a paper towel. Then take one of your wooden skewers and dip it in water. Once it's wet, roll the skewer in sugar. This sugar will serve as the seed crystals for your rock candy. Set aside your skewer on a clean paper towel to let it dry. As your skewer dries, place your pot with the sugar and water solution on the stove. Turn the stove on high and stir the solution as it heats up. Continue to stir the solution until all of the sugar has dissolved, which will likely be when the water begins to boil. As we wait for the water to boil, let's talk about the science behind rock candy. While you may not realize it, there's a ton of science going on in your solution. As we wait for the water to boil, let's take a closer look at what's going on in the pot. All liquids have a specific solubility towards a given solute at room temperature. Solubility refers to the ability of a substance, also known as the solute, to be dissolved in a liquid, which is called the solvent. For most solid substances, solubility increases as temperature increases. Basically, this means that as the liquid gets hotter, more of the substance can be dissolved. In our experiment, water is the solvent and sugar is the solute. Sucrose is a common sugar and makes up table sugar. So when you see the word sucrose, that represents the sugar molecules. This drawing represents your solution before heating it on the stove. At room temperature, the solubility of the water is not high enough to dissolve all of the sugar. However, by placing the solution on the hot stove, the water molecules begin to speed up and solubility increases, enabling more sucrose molecules to dissolve. As the water continues to get hotter and hotter, the solubility of the water continues to increase, meaning it is able to hold more sugar, and so more and more sucrose molecules dissolve into the water. By the time the water begins to boil, the solubility is high enough for all of the sugar to dissolve. The dissolved sugar in water solution is known as a supersaturated solution, which is a solution that contains more of the solute than could be dissolved by the solvent under normal conditions. In our case, the boiling water is able to hold much more dissolved sucrose molecules, or sugar, than it could at room temperature. Our supersaturated solution is the key ingredient to make our rock candy. For now, let's get back to the experiment. Continue stirring the solution until it begins to boil. Once the solution starts to boil, add in any optional food coloring or flavoring if you'd like. For my rock candy, I added in 2 drops of red food coloring. After adding in your food coloring, don't forget to turn off the stove. Next, have an adult help you to pour your solution into your glass or jar, leaving about 1 inch of empty space at the top of your glass. Carefully set your jar down and let your solution cool for 15 to 30 minutes. Now, put your sugar-coated wooden skewer into the middle of the jar. Make sure the skewer does not touch the bottom of the jar by leaving 1.5 inches of space from the tip of the skewer to the bottom of the jar. Hold the skewer in place with your clothespin or clip. Finally, leave your jar on the counter and wait. It may take up to a week or potentially longer for a good amount of crystals to grow in the skewer. Track the growth of your rock candy by observing the jar every day, but be sure not to disturb the solution. If you notice that the crystals on the skewer are beginning to touch the sides or the bottom of your jar, adjust the skewer accordingly. Let's take another look at what's happening in the jar to see how the rock candy forms. By leaving the solution on the counter to cool in room temperature for a week with the sugar-coated skewer in the solution, the temperature of the solution slowly decreases back to room temperature. As the temperature decreases, the solubility of the water also drops. As the solubility decreases, the water is unable to hold all of the sugar, leading the water to release sucrose molecules which then form a solid crystalline precipitate. A precipitate is a solid that forms out of solution. As the solution continues to cool, more and more sucrose molecules are released from the water, making the crystals even larger. Sugar molecules prefer to attach to existing sugar molecules. This is why we coated our skewer in sugar. The sugar on the skewer serves as seed crystals and attracts the sucrose molecules that are being released from the solution. As more sucrose molecules are released from the solution, they continue to attach to the existing crystals on the skewer, enabling our rock candy to grow larger and larger. This process, in which the sucrose molecules are precipitating out of the liquid to form a solid crystal, is known as crystallization. Throughout the week, as your sugar crystals form, evaporation is also helping your rock candy to grow. As the water from the solution slowly evaporates, the solution becomes even more saturated and cannot hold as many sucrose molecules, leading even more sugar to come out of the solution to join the crystals on the stick. I chose to do the experiment twice and made two rock candy skewers, a red one and a blue one. I let the red rock candy grow for 1 day, while I let the blue rock candy grow for a week. For your rock candy, I suggest leaving it in for a week or more to give the sugar crystals plenty of time to grow. When you're ready to take your rock candy out of the jar, use a spoon to lightly break the hardened sugar film at the top. Then, carefully remove your skewer and place it in another glass or jar to let it drip and dry. Once it's dry, your candy is ready to eat.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your rock candy. In the next part, we'll explore how rock candy can teach us about financial literacy. Until then, remember that science is in everything you do.